Weekly Dama News, Kendertainment to MJ right here. How you doing? It's been a while. Hey, weekly, here again, talking about the shit that's been going on in the Dama world, in the Dama sphere, making a collective effort to have all these things, these types of news that we're all chatting about, we're all liking the posts, we're all maybe, putting a comment, sharing some things here and there. But here's a place where we can all gather, nerd out about what's been happening within the past week. So thanks for coming out. I got a whirlwind check already. Now, sitting down whirlwind checks, if anyone has known, it's not easy, but we'll give it a try. And you always got to think about which one you're going to go with, okay? I'm been dabbling in all the 3 different styles of whirlwinds. If you're going to go from down the base cup, giving it that thumb flick. If you're going to go up close to the sarado, if your thumb is under the sarado or inside the big cup, I go inside the big cup. That's another one I feel like it's pretty quick. There's not much space, you got no knees, you're going to go with that one. Or if you go with the traditional, at least for me traditional, because the first whirlwinds I was very comfortable in getting used to was inwards. So let's go inward and see what happens. Nope. The time I came around, but in any case, let's go through what has happened in the past week of Kendama. I'm going to go to my save posts and we're going to just chit chat. There's a few things I didn't double check just this morning because usually everyone, here it is, 11 a.m. JP time, Thursday, June 1st. June is looking good so far. We're halfway through with the year and there's a lot of stuff that's going down. There's a lot of people right now who are over in the EU, over in Europe, hanging out with the Euro homies because there's a massive Kendama event, the biggest one in all of Europe happening right now, the EKC. What does that stand for? European Kendama Championship. I think it was the EKO for a little bit. Am I wrong? But here we go. I wasn't able to get a live going for this past Monday. Usually I go like your Sunday nights if you're in the US, and my Monday mornings. Busy at that time. So hey, here we are. It's a little later on in the week, but hopefully I can get this one, bang it out, and then post it up for everyone to enjoy and then get going with the next one. Because the Dama is just like the world. It just keeps on spinning. And as the world turns, you know that one? Yeah? Any case, so yeah, I usually double check as the week goes on. I save posts, and then right before the live stream, I double check and see if there's anything that I missed. And there probably is some stuff, so let me know in the chat if I've missed anything. Let me know what you had your eyes on and stuff, because this is a collective of Dama news. I'm not the only anchor in here because I'm not the only nerd, So let's kick it off with, I guess, the oldest one that I had saved, which is new wood lines coming out from Kendama Depot. Go to Kendama Depot to pick it up from new laced Kendamas. Laced, past tense. They have been laced. So it looks pretty dope. I really like the different aesthetic, very clean cut, very almost like a posh kind of up class kind of vibes with the text that they're using and stuff. But it's a wood line of the grunt shape. Now, New Lace is a type of company that is on the smaller side, which there's a lot of new stuff coming out of many of the smaller brands, and they're pushing the envelope for a lot of different things. If it's going to be different size cups, different types of paint, or different types of splices. So here it is right here. There's also good pickup from the chat. There is also a new player that has been announced for new laced Kendama, Isaac Levinson. I saw the clip. It just hit me now that you mentioned it. I remember it specifically because it had some Arctic Monkeys jam in the background. I was like, all right, yeah, that's a good one from years ago, and I'm down. But new wood line, these are always looking so great. I'm a diehard fan of Zebrano and any exotic wood, so it's really cool to see them put them all together. Sweets had their splice going on for a while, and then they kind of been relaxed on new splices to come out, and not many other companies none bigger brands are putting out a lot of like spliced woods, especially for Kens, but you can look at Quad maybe, and I'm sure a lot of other ones that I'm not mentioning right now, just Quad comes to mind. of different types of Kens that you can get because they are kind of like handmade, at least Quad is, and you can add a lot of new stuff to it, all right? We'll be getting more into the Kens. This is going to be Ken-filled. Watts in the chat, Jacob Watts edited that one. It's so awesome. So here we go, wood lines right here. You got Zebrano, you got Beech, you got Purple Heart, the Wedgie, you got Birch, and more Purple Heart. So it's cool. You know, it makes sense for that Purple Heart to be in that spike, a little splice right there and going through the spike to add some extra durability to it. The second one, it's got Wedgie in the middle. So 2 different splices. You choose. But still really cool to see. I really like that kind of style, as well as putting the cups, different colored on the types of wood on the cups is always interesting. Looks really dope, but it always hit me as like, has anyone ever had the happening where just where it was connected, where it was glued together, just the cups fall off? I'm like, that would be so sad. I'd be like, quick tears coming out if I just saw that fall on the ground. It's just like, splat. I don't know. Again, I've never tried any of these, and especially the new laced with this new shape. But hey, something I have tried, and Sweets kind of brought it back. I don't know if it's still in stock anymore. Sweets got in his 10th ass time machine, went back to 2015 to the Kenko days. And right before the Kenko it's an old brand from back in the day. Ridiculous team members were on that. You know, Dan Robinson, you got Bonzatron, you had Chris Bosch, you had Jake Fisher, you had the Sling Shady, you had Sam Cannon. Like, it was their team, like missing a bunch of other people. Their team was ridiculous. Chad Covington, Chado was on the team for a while. Back in the day, I even think, it was ridiculous how many people they had on their team. And they were a massive force on the they were like on the underground scene of Kendamas, as we had Kendama USA, Sweets, Chrome were still like, you know, the big boys that made a lot of the movement happen at the beginning. Kenko was another small brand that came out. There's a few other like really tiny ones, but this one like kind of came up because of their team members. And as I just mentioned, it was stacked beyond belief. So a lot of people went over and their kendamas became very popular, even if they weren't really that good. And, you know, considering the age of these kendamas, the genre, the generation that they came up in, and the types of tricks that we were all doing, and it was good enough. But if you look at it now, it's like, yeah, not a shape that you would really want to sesh too much. It's like a, you know, go back in time to feel what the roots of kendama were like. Even though it's still fairly fresh if we're talking about history of kendama. But still, amazing to see that they had a box of 100 Kenko Zens, Natty Kens, that they decided to cush clear, did the reverse type of style of the Kenko stripe Zen, which was just like a Natty Tama with a single striped color in there, it was white with one single stripe. So they did the reverse, and again, amazing relic of a kendama. And as Sweets was mentioning in that little clip, it's like good. It's an awesome thing to go back and to just reminisce. If you're an old head from that day and you wanted a fresh Zen, here's your chance to pick one up in with a Kush Tama. Bevel's still super tiny. You got to watch out for that though. But also for newer gen players to pick one up and to see what it was like. Granted, you could just go on, like, I don't know, any kendama website store just to search up like Ozora, and you can get a classic Ozora sized kendama that Ozora still makes. You know, they have their reshape, which is boosted cups and everything, the booty bevels and whatnot, but you can still get the old style shape. So you don't have to pick up this one, but this one is definitely special because, again, the Kenko mark is on there. You're not seeing any of those anymore, as well as the kind of collab with Sweets that has happened. It's crazy. The base cups are shallow. Yes. I remember there's a few flaws that happened within the manufacturing companies back then. With the base cup was always an issue. I remember a friend who got here in Japan, he picks up a old Kendama USA Turner Thorn Pro Mod with the Animal Spirit series. So it's the one with the shark and that like dark purple, almost eggplant-ish Tama color. And he got one where the base cup was not only shallow, but it wasn't like carved all the way. So it wouldn't sit nicely. It would wobble. Like there was so much wobble in it. And my friend, this was early when we were getting into Kendama. So he's like, man, yeah, this is really cool. He's like, but I don't know. It's like lighthouses are like really, really tough, even with this new rubber wood, because the rubber paint, that's what it was. It was fresh at that time. And we were messing around with it, and I was looking at it. You couldn't really tell just by looking at it. But if you put the Tama on and you look at it really, really carefully, you'd be like, yeah, that's not flat. It's like almost like a V in a weird way. So they had a bunch of issues back then. And this one kind of, comes up from that era. So, hey, we're all happy that the evolution of the game, the shapes, has also pushed the evolution of the manufacturers, the people who are creating. Hungary specifically, they make like probably 90% of your kendamas that you have. So yeah, that's really cool to see. Grab something old from the Kenko days out of sweets, if they still have it, by the way. Where's my coffee? Over here. How's everyone doing today? Come on, it's like review. Adam, where are you at? What are you drinking? Let me know in the chat. What are you guys drinking this evening? Okay, the next one up on the list is, hey, Ezra Kattz. Ezra slaps cats. He doesn't really, I don't know if he, there you go. From the chat, Van Dama coming in clutch. The whole legacy kind of fun facts I've been talking about, the Kenko sweets. Yeah, you can't get them. They're all sold out. They're gone. Yeah, there we go. Ezra. New no jumper. And did you guys ever notice that? The L, the N, L, K, N, J, K. Just the L and the J. Kind of, you swap that guy, flip it around, look at it in the mirror, and they can really confuse you, as it did just me. No jumper kendama. A company people still have, sus eyes towards. They got a new pro. And again, this is awesome to see. Ezra has been shredding. He's, in my eyes, like kind of a local. I'm from Connecticut, so tri-state area. I believe Ezra was from Jersey. I don't think he is there anymore. He is also, yes, fast hand god. In the past, in history, OG days, Christian Fraser was the OG god of fast hands. But yeah, Ezra's on a different level, adding a lot of different flair of the new gen players and the new gen tricks, the style of it too. He's got definitely a specific style, not talking about just the fashion, but the way his tricks go. And a great example is his 28 tricks, no, 28 tricks. New Year, New Edit comp entry. I forgot what it was called. Only stalls, or like no birds, only fast hands or something. But that was like what I see him as, what he like specializes in. Everyone's got their own thing. We got Pinchy, what is his name? Pinchy Williams, of course, with the pinches. And then you got like Sling Shady. What he's got the slings down. Ezra has the fast hands down, Oh, the other one I was thinking was come on, Esteban, Adrian, Mr. Esteban, with his string trick. So it's really cool, and this is something that really helps someone's style, their flair, their play really pop out more from the rest of the scene. Because when you have something that is specifically that you're really good at, this skill that you have that shines above everybody else, then it puts you on the map a little more. Like, great example, Aventis, okay? Aventis is not the greatest player, all right? If you're looking at all-around stats, he is very specifically trained in string tricks. And that's totally cool. And guess what? That's what put him on the map. And that's what got him a sponsor, almost a sponsored, I don't know if that's exactly what got him to. Any case, that's what got him a sponsored spot on Grain Theory. Stood above the crowd, different way, different light, and was a master of his stuff. All right. So it's really cool to see, hey, Ezra, get that pro love in here, and the whole no jumper situation. That's the whole, for me personally, I still feel like that's the kind of a sad thing that has happened. Everyone's gonna have their own thoughts about it. That's totally fine. But for the people who are like, man, I really love Ezra, his style and stuff, I would want to, but I don't like the company. So you're kind of in a mixed emotions type stuff there. So it's tough to really like putting that into perspective of supporting the dude. So hey, not great colorways too. I really love like the green, like dark green, like, or the bluish, like it matches well. It reminds me a little bit of the a little bit of a steal from the Wyatt Bray, his last mod, like that came out like a month or a few weeks before he quit. No jumper, the burrito, you know, it's got the little wavy line, but it's cool. And to top it off, like literally to top it off, Masako Dama art on top. She is a great artist, a Kendama artist that's been killing it. Like, I don't know what number she's at. She draws something every day, which if anyone follows like artists on, especially IG, a lot of people are, you know, just creating, putting stuff out every day. It kind of feels like a task that they have to do, but she's been doing it like for a long time and has a lot of really, really cool Kendama art that's just been cruising. And I think it was on his story specifically, he said like big shout out to Masako for letting me use her art, because this was just like a normal piece that she released on her account. So I'm guessing he just shouted, so like, hey, can I get one? And I'm gonna put a nose on it because that's gonna be the Tama hole. Yeah, so really cool. Congrats, Ezra. Dope. Dude's over in the Europe right now. Gonna throw down for the EKC. Talking about things that have been thrown down. Salt Lake City. Best event name, new event name that has come out. Salt Laced City over in Utah happened, went down, put together by Hive Kendama, as well as the Utah Collective. Okay, really, really great stuff. That seemed like an awesome event. Tiny, but at the same time, tiny is good. You know, it's not a bad thing. I'm the guy that would love to go to events, live shows at a tiny venue where it's more personal, in your face and stuff. So it's a really great chance to talk with everyone and just get to know, buddy up with people a lot more at those smaller events. So this is awesome to see. Salt Lake City, congrats on getting that stuff down, getting it in. Yo, Lynn says, I wish my state had jams and comps. You just got to make it happen. Find people, communicate with people through the IG, find out where they are, get something together. Because, you know, I really wish I had the Nerds, Nate, here, because he seems like that's what it was. You know, he comes from a background and still is a part of like the hardcore scene, and a lot of that stuff, punk, hardcore, metal, a lot of it is DIY. And with Kendama being as young as it is, we also have to do a lot of DIY stuff. We can't just rely on all the big companies to do a lot of stuff, because actually they're aiming for a really high spot because they already passed through this like medium area. So it's up to the smaller groups. Even you don't have to be a company, just like this one, right? Salt Lake City. Hive Kendama, yes, is a brand, but it's not a massive one by any means. And then the Utah Collective is just a group, a team. So figure that out. Somebody go follow. Am I following? Yeah, I'm following them. Someone go follow them so they can get a clean 100 followers. Oh no, never mind. That's who they're following. Okay. Any case, so that's what you got to do. Make that community and make something happen. You guys, poor Linzeb. Someone get out there to help her out. But in any case, it's not impossible. There can still be jams, and sometimes there isn't. So in that case, this is why we're here, doing the weekly Dama news, being nerds, talking about it, because maybe we can't be jamming together, but we can talk about Dama together. So Salt Lake City, awesome. Ridiculous to see a good amount of OG judges, shall I say, you know? We had the other MJ, Reeves, from Kendama Depot, being a judge for the freestyle. We had Adrian, the Esteban, the Esleban, GT Pro being a freestyle judge, as well as Caden Lundenberg, excuse me. I don't know if you guys remember this dude. I remember him. I remember him looking like the little icon that they posted, his profile icon that they posted of him. Yeah. That's what I remember. Massive dude with massive tricks, just destroying. And I was like, who is this guy? And I've never seen much of him because, you know, being over in the JP, you can only see so much. And when there's a player that's like kind of in the spotlight, but at the same time not, because he wasn't sponsored or anything, it was just like a mysterious thing. Like it's like a unicorn, like many people talk about, rarely seen, you know? And Caden was, I guess not rarely seen, but at least for me, he was. But you still saw plenty of his clips online, and it was ridiculous. So it was cool to see him, hey, come back into the scene, come back into the community. And I think a lot of the OG players, they either have, like, there's like two versions, like one where they just completely get cut off, or they cut themselves off, or they just, you know, are finished. They grow up, they graduate from Kendama on their own, right? That's their choice. It's totally fine, totally cool. And some people will just put almost like a little hiatus, you know, I'm gonna be doing summer school for a while, and you're gonna come back to it. Maybe you have graduated, but you still want to dabble in the studies of Dama play. And so it's cool to see Caden come out and do that. So huge props to him, as well as everyone who is at the comp. Awesome. People put it together. Amazing. As well as for the people who took podiums. And of course, I just have to highlight these three right here. The Wong, and the KD. Oh, maybe he doesn't know W for KD. Two Soul people taking it. We got an Laced over here taking it as well. Freestyle and open. Everyone double podium. Is that unheard of? That's got to be unheard of. Both of them. Like everyone. That's a new thing. That's got to be a highlight on Kendocs. Dan, make that a highlight. Like what are the odds of this happening at a single event? These players coming out crushing it, and they just show that they're on top. Kelvin Wong specifically, look how mean he looks right there. Double gold. Just turn those shits into his glasses. But on the other side, yeah, the three is ridiculous. These guys. Other stories of Kelvin, as happy as he can be taking this double podium, double first place freestyle and open, he's got to be feeling a lot of pain right now. Because if you've been following him, you see on his stories that he's been waiting for his passport so he could go over to defend his open champion title in the EU over in Europe for the EKC. And he is not able to do that because his passport will not get to him in time. I think like a day or two late from when he has to be on his flight to go over there. So sadly, he won't be able to join. And it's really sad to see because Wong is Wong. He's not coming. And it's really, sad because, and I'm sure I feel for him because that was one that I feel was a big strike in his Kendama career. Not in a bad way strike. I'm saying like you knock it out of the park. Maybe I'm using the wrong words. A big thing, events that happened where he took that, and you could see like the emotions that were running through that event. If you watched, if you see any videos of that too and hear him talk about it, it was a big thing, big part of his kendama career, and to have this shit hit him where he cannot go back. You know, not sure what his mindset was at, but even, you know, if he was just going to go over and just to be a part of it, like not caring to really probably care to win, but if you weren't going in to just specifically win and keep your title, of course, that would be an amazing thing. Rarely done in kendama, has been done, but rare. Just to be able to go back, to go to this place where it's like almost like your stomping grounds. It's a place where like you really, you know, hit it. A strike in bowling. Thank you, X-Arch. Exactly. Achievements. There you go. People with the true English coming in and helping me out. So, Salt Lake City, amazing, cool to see, dope event. The other dope event, of course, that we all know about that's happening is EKC right now. This weekend, Cody Grizz out of America, again, into the Europe. Same with Matt Sweets Jorgensen will be live streaming the event. Amazing to see them out there again, and excited for it. I'll be here in the JP again, being able to have some part of it. So everyone here that's watching, hopefully, you know, you're probably not going to be going to Europe right now. Maybe you are, that'd be dope. But most of us will probably be watching on our screens, just like we are right now, being able to chat back and forth, say what's up to each other, and just, you know, be somewhat a part of the event, and, you know, give some extra, like, just being there. I think give extra high fives to Cody and Matt for being there themselves and putting the work that they're going to be putting in, because it's going to be a big one. Hopefully they have a little more time to relax after, because I remember last year it was something like crazy. Like, the event finished, they had their all-night party, and then like 4 or 5 a.m. they had to get a flight back to the US. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening for EKC. Not only is there, oh yeah, now that I'm like, my mind's, it's like Pop Rocks, but in my mind. All of these things that I didn't save, but I scrolled through, maybe because I was using a wrong account or something. A lot of different shit is happening. What? Yo, Jim Boogs coming in. You can plug in HDMI from a TV into your laptop for the stream on TV if you don't have a smart TV. Oh, okay. So you can see it like full screen. Figure it out, everyone. I mean, one, don't get a computer. Does everyone have computers anymore? I guess it's not totally necessary if you don't have a desktop. But yeah, you don't want to watch on this if you can, because that whole event's a huge thing. If you can, get together with friends, just nerd out with some people, just nerd out with the people in the chat and enjoy it. Any case, there's other things that I had on my mind as I was talking about EKC. Of course, not only is Theodore Fiorina putting it together again, putting so much energy and work into it. There's a lot of other companies who are bringing hot fire to this, you know, yoga, fire. Everyone is bringing ridiculous stuff. Okay, so one of them, you know, starting off with the man himself, Tio, re-releasing the Optics Tio mod, but in his shape. Last time it was just the normal TC shape, Team Collab shape, and here it is in his specific Tio shape, which was, what was it called? Hardlines was the other one. So this is really dope. Again, classic black, white, half and half Tama with a little extra, like, you know, elements in the Tama just to give it an extra flair. So awesome. If you wear glasses or not, this is a really dope thing. And yeah, I personally have never experienced the Tio mod, so in the shape to see what it's like. So it's really dope. You'll see it at EKC or online at their store later. Other ones was, this is the one I'm most excited about, so I'm going to wait on that one. The other one was 365. This is one I didn't save, but I just saw it, just this morning? Okay, they got a bunch of stuff, you guys. Deadlines, thank you. So much release. So if anyone has got friends or anybody that's in the Europe right now, you got to let them know, or just be ready with your credit cards on your online stores when stuff is released. So 365 has got a lot of interesting stuff. Socks. You know, Chrome has done socks. I don't think there's any other, Sweets, maybe they've done like weird stuff like leggings and like baby clothes. I don't know if they've done socks before. 365 is releasing socks, as well as fire t-shirts, a little like Harley Davidson type vibes right there. But socks. Hey, okay, socks. Socks are needed. What's the length of the socks? I'm very particular when it comes to socks, but they'll be up on limited qualities. So get ready. They might not be on the store. Hold on. If you aren't attending EKC, don't worry. We'll be releasing these on our online shop June 1st. Oh, hey, so that's like right now. So they're going to be on the shop, as well as they're just bringing a few over to the EKC. I see. I get it. So that's one thing, right? Oh man, getting ahead of me, gravy. So we got that, and then we have a new Dama, the primary series. Why? Because the primary colors, guys. Come on, anyone pick that up? Red, yellow, blue. Those are your primary colors. You got those colors, then you're able to mix and make any color you want. You know, going back to the old school days of elementary school learning. So really cool, like, I don't know, Picasso-ish vibe faces that we have all over the Tama. There was something similar to that on the artist series, I believe, that, you know, just struck me when I first saw it. And someone had a similar style. But hey, this is really cool because there's a black version and a white version. Which one are you going to pick up? Black, white, get the two. Awesome to see. And of course, what we were talking about. What were you, oh my gosh. Wait a second. OG peeps are like, this looks familiar. I've seen this before. Is Luke, I think his name was Luke, Grip? I never met him personally. Grip's coming back? In a strange way, yes, but no, not the exact grips that we know about from the old days of being the grip Kendamas, but it is having the same effect, same aesthetic, same feel as the grip. So here it is. It's the new one. It's the Smoov. S-M-O-O-V. Man, their English is almost as bad as mine is now. Smoov Kendamas. Rubber inlays that feel smooth in the hands and looks beautiful. Texture and handle adds an enhanced grip, improved playability. Okay? Chris June put us together. He's been doing a lot of the design and the artwork, I know, but I didn't know he was getting his hands actually dirty by making this. I forgot who it was. I think, oh, okay. There's a Future Nerds episode that's coming out in a little while. We got one in between where me and Rod and our guest talk about the grip Kendama specifically, and we go into a little bit of just how we think it was done. And with Rod being a wood turner himself, he's the one that had, I guess, like the most ideas of how it was done, but also at the same time, he still had a lot of questions. So ridiculous. Oh, sound stops. Hello. 2. So hopefully, everyone, let me know if my mic dropped out. All right. So amazing to see. Will they be up on the site? Let's see. Limited qualities at the EKC booth. If you're planning to make a purchase at our booth, will it be okay? Blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer. Minor cosmetic flaws will be there. Yes. There will be no info on drops in the near future. More info, not no info. There will be more info. And no, will not be taking custom orders, because this is what Grip did back in the day. He was making kendamas, gripping kendamas, as we said. So he really like just nailed it on the spot. It's grip. It's called grip. It's just grip kendama. He was creating an actual grip for it. So the Smoov is, in any case. So what he was doing was creating these grips on the grips and taking custom orders and like letting people like say hit him up like, hey, I got this like wine OG Mugen and I want you to put some like red-ish, color fade, whatever, blah blah blah. And he would then do that. So people knew about that, and I'm guessing that's why 365 is like, hey, here's this. Didn't say specifically, do you remember grip? But we know what it's connected to. And hashtag new era, because yes, this is going to be a new era because 365 is going to be coming up more and just pushing more stuff where grip is kaput, not here anymore. So that's where it is. that's where we stand. 365 coming with a lot of, as their t-shirt shows, yoga fire. The other very interesting point for that whole event was, where was it? Under the EKC. And again, this is one I didn't save, so sorry about that. EKC recently is posting a few posts talking about specific prizes. Here we go. Have you guys seen this? So if you're going to the event, this is something you really want to be on the lookout for, because here we go. Little branded event winning, what's the word? Tournaments? Competition? Within the competition? Lotus Kendama coming in with open bracket predictions. Best prediction wins something sick. What are you getting? Oh, probably new Lotus Kendama. Another one, GT, Big Flex. GT Flex Spike. Best Spike wins 100 euros. I think that's roughly around $100 or a little more or less. I don't know exactly. Another one, OK Kendama. No, sorry, One Kendama. Their little logo says OK. A Boost Skit Ball. You get 100 euros too. Boost Skit. Come on, guys. That's just hard for me to say. One Kendama will be hosting One Kendama will be hosting a mini game on their tiny hoop toy. The goal is to catapult. Oh man, catapult the little ball into the hoop and get the most baskets in a row. The two highest scores will battle it out on stage. So this is something we're going to see on stage at the live stream if you're watching, and hopefully you'll be in the loop of what's happening instead of like, what are they doing? They'll be on stage to see who hits the most points and takes home 100 euros. Another one, Kendama Senses, a really great small, I guess, a distribution in the EU, releasing a lot of cool stuff, different things. You know, they got like special like glues with their brand on it. There's like a little lighter right there. You got some extra type beads and stuff. Yeah, string spool, really cool stuff. So they get a golden ticket and 100 euro on their shop credits. So what do you have to do though? EKC senses Kendama first aid, but what do you have to do? This incredible product will be one of your most prized possessions. This kit has blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, got a lot of cool stuff. I don't get it. I don't know how you're supposed to win that one. Another one, oh my gosh, is this a Tama? Snarkle coming in with some interesting Tamas all the time, and it looks like they made a windmill. Here's a 3D version animated, but an actual. That's just so ridiculous. In the age of when we only had home appliances like stoves to work with, then you got this. Amazing to see. Amazing to see. So Snarkle rocks. The winners of each division will get their own functional windmill Tama. This thing is incredible and has detachable pieces. We have more pictures to show you soon. Some of the coolest prizes we've seen. So I don't know if there's going to be any extra stuff like that going on, but it's really dope to see. They got EKC shirts that have dropped as well. More event, like after party events. J Queens will be DJing. Man, along with Boyson, and there's so much cool stuff that seems like it's happening. So definitely the windmill would depending on what's its 3D printed material is, it might break. It probably break. But it's one of those like show pieces. And if it does break, hey, battle scar. I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So be on the lookout if you're going. If you see something that you want to get and you have a friend, a connection in the EU, then hit them up and let them know to get in line, hopefully, for you. And, you know, throw them a few extra euros for their compliance and being able to wait in line for you. So the one more thing that is amazing that I see they're talking about at the EKC, was it premiering at EKC or not? There's a new account out there, guys. Kendama Handturners Collective. There it is. Done by Perspective Kendama, Quad Kendama, aka Kendama, Handplant Kendama. They're coming in. Yeah, there's going to be a full process. Check out the reveal live at the EKC. Amazing. Have you guys been following? I hope you guys are following. Kendama Handturn Collective. I think who did that art? Perspective did that art. He's so dope with the animation and the graphic. So let's see, what was it say? I think there was a little bit of information. So that was the biggest one. We fellow hand turners have the same mindset. We'd figured we could work together. This collective start with a collective project, a community art project. There it is. 4 wood types were selected: wedgie, padok, pandak, maple, and ash. The design is done by every turner for itself. Not so sure what that means. My English is whatever. The goal is that everyone in the community should be able to get their hands on one of them. Meaning, okay, so are they going to craft something together and then throw it over to Handui so more people can get their hands on it? With our community, there's a professional editor popped up, and we're happy to have him work with us. Thank you, Felix Dama, for the beautiful work. Stay tuned. Again, yeah, EKC is happening. It's going down. What's the other information? Did you guys see this? Because how many followers they got so far? Hundreds, 148, about 150. If anyone has been interested in any type of hand-turned kendamas, especially from Europe, because there are a few out there that maybe you didn't know about. I mean, I got right over here. I got the hand plant. Very interesting shape. Very like the angle of the shape, especially the space cup, you know, most of them taper back in, but this one goes completely out, which definitely helps. It really feels like it grips the Tama for base cups a lot better, as well as gives you more of an angle to catch for lean houses if you're getting into those too. I found myself mistakenly lean house like many times. But also then it gives me a good place to practice and do that stuff more. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, different shape, different stuff, hand turn. Cool. You know, AKA is another one that's out there. We got quad. Should I whip out my quad? I recently was gifted a quad. And that one again, you know, everyone's got their own shape. Everyone's got their own style, design. So it's really interesting to think about, like, what is going to happen with this Kendama collective, right? So I'm excited. They're saying that there's going to be a collective art. It says art piece though, so we're gonna can't play it. Kens are art, but also, you know, we want to play them. If you were following Perspective recently, I believe maybe on his stories, or he released a post itself. Let's see if I can find it. Talking about putting cloth into a Ken. Yeah. Fabric. They got 2 pieces of wood. You put fabric in there and then clamp it down. Okay. And then you're going to turn it into... So he's going to have fabric. And it says in the post, after some time thinking, I wanted to present fabric splices. Fabric splices. How... It's got to be thin. It's got to be a little thin. It's going to be super thin, actually, because if you get a piece of wood that's that thin and you clamp it, press it together with all this force so it stays together, if it's just interesting to think about if it's going to be a single piece of cloth, depending on, as well as, you know, the thickness of that cloth, the ounce weight is going to be really different. And then, yeah, it's going to be smashed. Probably going to be hardened a lot too with all the glue that they're going to put into it. So I'm not sure how much of it would like pop out. The process would be, I'm guessing, the same. There might be a few differences, but fabric in our kendamas, in our kens, very intriguing, interesting. I'd like to see it. Yeah, could be resin reinforced, not sure. but really interesting to see, because I don't think, has anyone done that before? Nope. Perspective is coming out, giving you, hey, get this, a new perspective on kendamas, creating 3D printed kendamas, full 3D playable minis. When you get big, they can kind of break, like this guy over here. You know, they just don't hold up too well, and depending on how you print, this was printed flat like here, and then the layers were printed vertically going up. So yeah, just a little amount of stress and came right off. But perspective coming, new perspective, 3D printed minis, putting fabric into kendama, fabric splices. Watch out. Watch out. So tune in to EKC live stream to see exactly what will be happening in that, for those, for that whole project, that whole collective, Kendama Handturners Collective. Ooh, okay. As well as, come on, I mean, all of these booths, all of the companies are going to be releasing something special. So keep your eyes peeled on the live stream that Sweets will be presenting for everyone, and get ready to pick some new stuff up on their online shop. So each, company's releasing some really cool, dope stuff. All right, everyone, we're getting towards the end of the live stream. I'm going to take another drink of this coffee, sip, and we're going to do a Q&A. So if anyone has questions, ask down there. Use the question tool. Be doing a little rounds, see what I can answer up for everyone. So use that right now. But before that, hey, clip of the week. It's been a while. But this one struck me as like just jaw dropper. The one and only Bosch going in with, okay. So I've messed with this idea where you just, as the Ken's flipping, you throw the Tama instead of just doing a specific tap where you're holding the Tama. Yeah, but I've never gone back to Lunar or anything like that. And then, can't even talk. Get all choked up. Emotional. Not only does he do it normal, as the Ken's rotating towards him, he does an inward version. He does it a ceiling tap where he just drops it. Oh my gosh, like this is one of those times, cool little effects of like that liquid smoke blast right there. Not too many people have added that in there, so that was cool. Love, you need the slow-mo just to really appreciate, and I love how they keep it both. Like, here's the fast version. Yes, he did what you just saw and thought he did, reverse. Watch it one more time, throwing it up, getting ready. Just the slightest drop, the Ken just... Bosch is a legend. Bosch grinds. Bosch is still pushing. He might not be everywhere as advancing as others have been, but hey, you can look at example, some of the huge heavy hitters that we've seen in our recent history, Bonds, as well as Ben Harold. They've been kind of Ben's been posting more than Bonds has recently, but we could think about, like, what's up? Where's the push for new stuff? Of course, we all want new stuff, but is that what we need? Sometimes we just need to step back and remember that, hey, this is fun. I'm going to enjoy it. And possibly pushing yourself to try to find something new all the time is going to be really difficult. We can't just all be like scientists trying to figure out a new, if there's new elements out there in the world or going into space, we're going to try to figure this out. Of course, there's a lot of cool things that we can think about and add to it. But at the same time, it's not 100% necessary. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if there's anyone really giving slack to any of these massive pros that we've seen that have been pushing, have added so much to the game that, their inbox is full, probably. They've had a lot of stuff and they're probably creating more stuff that maybe could be hush-hush. You know, Bonds was one that always brought some new style of tricks when he went to a competition, which, again, he hasn't been to competitions recently, but always would drop something new and would be king of it. Here's this new thing, like the gypsy flip, the blowback. Like, he would release those into the world during a comp and make them happen. Like he's been doing them forever. Ben Harold has been collecting stuff for years and then releases crazy edits, right? Which then births new styles of tricks, new forms, new variations, new movements and motions of Kendama play. So it's so cool to see sometimes of other people coming in with amount of, I guess, acknowledgement from the rest of the community to drop something new, and maybe, hey, it's going to pick up. Because there's plenty of people who've, like, I believe everyone probably has a group of friends, or maybe you personally, it's like, oh, I figured out this new trick kind of thing. And it's like this simple but kind of tech little tweak on this one trick. And it's like, I'm really good at it or something, but doesn't catch on. Like, it doesn't technically have to catch on. That could be something that you're just proud of, and that's totally fine. But like, one example is like the swivel, right? That one is one that I feel never really caught on. Like, people do it like every once in a while, but still, it's like, it's not such a sought after trick to learn, right? Compared to big ones like, you know, juggle or something, or lunar. And maybe the ceiling tap could be another one. We're not sure where it's going to play or which people are going to take it under their wing and evolve it into something else if it could be. But here we see, you know, Bosch brought that to the table, and then he just made a little evolution of it right here. So, clip of the week. This is a long one. Clip of the week, Bosch. Everyone go out and go get nostalgic, watch old Kenko videos of Bosch just destroying, because he has been for such a long time. Still does. But that's it. That's everything I got? Yeah, that's everything I got. Anyone got questions? If not, I'm going to finish up this coffee and then say have a good week, because that's Dama news. This week, hopefully, I'll be working on the next Dama Nerds episode. Hopefully, what is it? It's already Thursday over here. Got a busy day tomorrow, so probably won't be able to get anything out for this week, but I'll be cranking in on it, trying to figure it out so we can all enjoy it possibly for next week. It's a big one. Multiple guests, not just one. We had a gang of guests for this next one that came out. And again, it's an older version. You know, the Taco episode that me and Rod recorded is when Catch and Flow happened last year. Yes. Oh, sweat. It's already 6 months into it. But hey, cranking away. Oh, and other news, Burl, oh shit. Not B-U-R-L, but B-I-R-L. They were going to announce something big, and what they were specifically at NACO. Now, NACO was announced to be online, and then it seemed like Burl is now going to announce something big for the EKC. So another reason to sign in to the sweet stream, the Twitch stream, to figure out what Burl is all about. Should be pretty cool. Should be dope. I've heard a little bit about it. I'm not going to drop it because it's happening in just a few days. So we'll all learn about it together. All right, here we go. Ooh, got one question in there from the T-Daddy. What is one of your Dama pet peeves? Mine is when people friggin' separate pro mod Kens from the Tama. Oh, okay, I see that. Yeah, interesting. You know, it does come into a set where you feel like it should be together, right? It's the collection. Like, this should be with this. Like, that's how it was made. That's how it was set to be from the eyes of the creator, the pros. So yeah, why would you split them up? But you know, I would say, like, you know, for me personally, doing the whole motion of going from base cup to lighthouse, or catching lighthouses and holding the Tama. Yeah, and then going back up and then just like kind of releasing and then going for a lighthouse. That one I'm just like, yeah, not for me. Kind of like takes a sliver depending on like how I perceive the person's like play and their style. Like I know Shinosuke does that every once in a while. When I see him do it, I'm always like, okay, Shin, like come on, Shin-chan, like let's not do that. You don't have to do that. That is one. And then the opposite of that is another pet peeve of mine, when people go for stun planes and they grab the ken, like they go to spike it and then they use their fingers to grab and they like scoop it, or they don't even scoop it, they just grab it and like bam. Like it's not like vacuum cleaner, but it's a vacuum stun plane, I guess. That could, if I looked at it technically like that, maybe I would be like, okay. But yeah, that's definitely two of my pet peeves when I see other people playing kendama. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out and just rag on people for that, because kendama is what you want it to be. And for me, in my play, I just tell myself to not do that, and I'm fine with that. Other people do it. I won't think any you're garbage. I just feel like, that's too bad. You're still amazing. Oh, but that's too bad that you still do it like that. I still love people. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure with anybody, and in their pet peeves that they have, like if you see someone, separate the pro mod Tama from the Ken, like, it's like, man, it's like, but they're still cool people, right? Next question. What music have you been listening to lately? From the Nurge. Dude, what was I listening to? Recently, I've been listening to like bird sound samples, like just nature, like white noise type stuff. But music, what was I just listening to in the car recently? I've been listening to some like Peruvian Andes folk music recently. That's what I've been jamming out. The sun, it's getting hotter here in Japan. The sun's coming out. Getting a little charango, like pan flute vibes in there. So that's what I've been hitting right now. Yeah. Nothing too fresh, but something that hits the heart, makes you relax. Some of that stuff, and then the bird noises too. That's always dope to like wake up and just hear actual birds. There's plenty of birds in my area, but I'd like a little more. A little more of that nature is out. It's good. Bam. All right, there we go, guys. We've been on for an hour. There we go. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Weekly Dama News. That was it. I will be getting this out to the podcast version as well as the YouTube version. So make sure to go over to both of those. Subscribe, leave comments, leave reviews for the podcast, let other people know about it. I was just looking at like some of my first I was sifting through the old live streams that I was doing for Weekly Dama News, and I think I was like, when the hell did I start this shit? And I think it was 2021. Does anybody say 2021? 2021, started Weekly Dama News. Glad that I'm still going. Recently, I've been pretty busy doing other stuff, so I've been like a little slacking on the weekly part of it, but still glad that people are listening, down with it, but would love to have even more people share this experience of this little news community that we have, talking about, getting nerdy about Dama. So let your friends know, leave a review over where you get your podcasts. On the podcast, all you got to do is search Weekly Dama News, and then you can find it. Same with on YouTube. And yes, get excited for next week. Should be doing it again. Usually I aim for your Sunday nights. If you're in the US, my Monday mornings. And then we're going to go in there for another one, and another one, and another one. And it just keeps on going. So next one's going to be all the hype of what happened with the EKC. So we'll all see you then. Tune in. But right now, tune out, relax yourself, and keep it clean.